Hello everybody, it's time for the July 2024 garden update. As you can see, things are looking pretty good. Got a lot of buds starting on the moonflowers. These pink Turk's cap are blooming pretty nicely. And the herbs are just doing their thing, settled into the summer. Here's all these plants, these hollyhocks. Looks like they're going for round 2. The citronella looking pretty good. That one's looking okay. Hopefully it puts up some new shoots before the fall. And that citronella's looking pretty good. Here's a look at some of my fall plants, my fall tomatoes. They're ready to go out in the garden just any time. And a little bit of extra grass plugs that I have planted out. Not looking great, but they'll fill in somewhere that I need it. Here's the little flower bed by the lean-to building. It's not blooming at all at the moment, but hopefully it will soon. This over here is looking pretty well. That came back wonderfully from the hailstorm. Here's a look at the ground cover. It's just doing its thing. AC's working flawlessly. And on and on. That looks pretty good. This Turk's cap here that had been struggling for the past 2 or 3 years is looking absolutely fantastic. I had sprayed it for mites earlier in the season and it has really rebounded since. And blooming heavily now. Here's the flower bed by my workshop. I mean, overall, from what it went through, it's doing pretty well. Some of the begonias didn't quite make it. They were just too far damaged, unfortunately, but it'll look good enough for the rest of the season. This flower bed on the south side of the property, kind of the test bed, that Turk's cap there is doing amazing. I haven't talked about this crepe myrtle in a while. This is the one I've been rehabbing. I cut it down to the ground and it's coming back out and looking pretty good. And here's this side. I didn't realize those were orange marigolds, but that's interesting. How about that? You never know what you're going to get. Everything's looking pretty good otherwise. Here's all this grown back in fully from the hailstorm. I'm going to have to tie that Turk's cap back a little bit, but the firebush is doing well. Couldn't be happier with this. What a rebound. And here's this section of garden back here behind my workshop. Cantaloupe vines are going crazy. That's something I would like to eliminate right there. Don't like that kind in the garden. And then here's my okra patch. It's just starting to bloom and make okra. Just in time for the hot weather. Oh, there's some more wildlife. But see, there's some okra forming right there. Got some buds forming on top of that one. So we're coming along. And that's what those 2 marigold plants are looking like. Looking pretty healthy. Got a giant sunflower coming up and got a bud on top of it ready to go. These cucumbers have finally started making. Unfortunately, the battle with aphids has begun, so I'm going to have to spray these again with some soapy water. I do have some help, fortunately, the little ladybug larvae. And here's our okra from this side. Looking pretty good. Still getting tomatoes. Some more okra here that probably be ready tomorrow. It grows fast. More tomatoes. I keep thinking these are about done, but they keep blooming and growing on. There's a nice cantaloupe forming there. Hopefully that'll be tasty. Black-eyed peas were absolutely coated in aphids, so I'll have to treat that again. That's a constant battle this time of year. And more black-eyed peas here. They're forming and making some pods now, so that's good to see. There's a random 4 o'clock plant here. My basil and tomato combo. Got a little bit of tomatoes on this plant. And here is my zinnia patch. That's looking pretty good. More cantaloupe. Let's look at the zinnia patch from this side. Very good. Very, very good. And then there's those cantaloupe, which hopefully those will be good. And my random okra plant here. 4 o'clocks are doing great. It's not the time of day they're blooming, but they are looking healthy. Here's the garden from this side, teeming with wildlife. This squash, this replacement squash from the hailstorm, is just starting to produce. Down in there somewhere there's a squash, a couple of them, may or may not show on camera. Starting to get cucumbers forming. There's one down in there. Black-eyed peas are ready to be picked again. Doing very good on those. And then got plenty of okra going there. More wildlife. Bell peppers are looking pretty good. So all around looking pretty good for this time of year. This flower bed on the south side of the property. Just did some weeding in it the other day. Not too much going on until you get down here. There's my shrooms. I've got a lot of the vinca growing here and some zinnias. Daylilies have gone for round 2. Looking pretty good. The yellow flower bed is not yellowing right now, but I suspect it will be before fall's over. Need to trim those back. I did finally abandon this flower bed, so let the grass just grow back in there, and hopefully it'll be like nothing ever happened. Oh wow, through the power of editing I have got those saplings cut down, so that looks much better. Here's what the front flower bed's looking like. Tropicals are not blooming right now. The wandering purple plant is doing its thing. Pentas are looking well. The amaryllis plants have come back from their little disease they had. Looking better. Those pentas are on point. The Angelina's got a little bit messed up because we had to have the drains cleaned not too long ago, but they'll be alright. And kind of the same thing down here. The Unimus bushes are looking pretty okay for this time of year. They typically struggle here and there. The chrysanthemums are bushing out, and about a month or so they'll be blooming. Hanging basket number 1 doing very well. I added some more fertilizer spikes and a little bit of more water, and they're thriving and happy as can be. Here is hanging basket number 2. The same thing applied to this one, except just a little bit different caladium bulbs. And here's the flower bed by the mailbox, fully populated with Coravinca, also known as periwinkles, and the one lone petunia plant. Still hanging in there. The flower bed in the middle of the front yard. Front side of it looking very well. And the back side isn't looking too shabby either. I've got just about every color of Coravinca that's possible, I do believe. There's some white ones here and there as well. Not seeing any of those up here. Possibly gotten crowded out, but overall very happy with this time of year. Here is the flower bed at the front north side of the property. Just got done weeding it and getting the live oak saplings cut down. There's not too much going on here this time of year. It's just kind of here. Here's the clearance bed, looking pretty good. Doing its thing. Here's a little strip of grass on the north side of the lawn, looking pretty darn good. Here's the front lawn. Probably about the best it's going to look because we're about to get back into reality. We've had a couple weeks where it's been in the low 90s and high 80s. Going to be getting back into the high 90s and low 100s on the regular for the foreseeable future. So hopefully the lawn is strong enough that we can get it through these next few weeks. And here's a look at the south side of the lawn, complete with mushrooms. Got my couple of bad spots I have every year, but I've been working on them, bringing those back around. Got mushrooms coming up all over the place. There's that cluster. They were down here the other day. So I suppose that means I've got healthy soil. As healthy as sand can be. And here's one more look at this angle. The whole backyard from this side. Looking pretty good. AC just shut off. Look at the lawn from this side. Looking very good for this time of year. No complaints at all. So once again, this has been July 2024 Garden Update. Thank you for watching.